So, here we are, Policenauts. It's been a while. So, I kind of had to have a bit of a think about what to do, because health situations changed, not for the better. So, I wanted to try and find something that I can do on my channel. And I've kind of found that older games are less stressful and impactful. So for this reason, I've kind of decided that this is what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to be revisiting some games from yesteryear. And it's interesting because, like, this that is like at the beginning of Metal Gear Solid, at the Konami logo. So it's very bizarre hearing it on something else, in fact something much earlier. So yeah, this should be fun. It's also one of the few games that supported the PlayStation mouse, so I'm actually going to be controlling this using my trackball, which is going to be, again, different. But I figure it's been a long time since I said hello to Mr. Kojima, who wrote and directed this. And given what he would then go on to do after this, I think this is like a perfect... let's see if we can actually do something. So with that in mind, I think it's that time. So, new game. Cool. Yeah, I had to test this thing, so of course, do you want to start from the new game? Yes.
大変長らくお待たせいたしました。ただいまよりポリスノーツを上映いたします。最後までごゆっくりとご鑑賞ください。
2010年、人類初のスペースコロニービヨンドコーストが完成し、人類の宇宙への本格的進出が開始された。2013年、コロニーへの一般市民の移住に伴い、数十万の移住者たちの治安を守るため、俺たち5人の宇宙訓練を受けた警官が選抜された。イギリス・スコットランドヤードからゲイツ・ベッカー、日本の警視庁からジョセフ・貞興徳川、アメリカ・ニューヨーク市警からサルバトーレ・トスカニーニ、そしてロサンゼルス市警から俺とエド・ブラウン。世界中の警察からえりすぐられた俺たちは、警察権限を持つ宇宙飛行士としてポリスノーツと呼ばれた。 俺はジョナサン・イングラム。30年前スペースコロニーのビヨンドコーストでポリスノーツとして働いていた。もっとも鉛筆事故で宇宙をさまよっていた俺にはわずか数年前のことにしか思えない。まだ生々しい記憶だ。妻や友人、仕事、何もかも30年前に置いてきてしまった。あの事故で過去を失った俺はこの汚れた町オールド LA でネゴシエーターまがいの探偵をしている。幼児誘拐や人身売買のネゴシエート、身代金の仲介、脱獄犯の逮捕などヤバい依頼ばかりだ。だが俺みたいな過去をなくした男にはそんな世の中の海がなければ飯も食っていけない。せいぜい腹いっぱいになるまで頑張るしかないか。さて、依頼人が来るまで何をしようか。この部屋には俺の過去を示すものがたくさんある。前方の壁には新聞の切り抜きや写真が。机の上にはあいつとの写真。どれも記憶の空白を埋めるものばかりだ。
So here we are. So a couple of things right off the bat. I really like that there's a full song to that. Da, 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 da. I think I'm really going to enjoy that little tune for a while. Two, we are named after a hand machine gun, the Ingram, I believe. Could have called ourselves Uzi, but that maybe been a little bit too much on the nose. And this is a fan translation because this has not actually been released in the West, so I am running a slightly modified version of the game. So it's the original Japanese audio cutscenes and all that. They've just done a fan translation on all of the text that is in the game. So it's gonna be a pretty mixed bag. I think this is gonna be very chatty intensive. We have a lovely little mouse thing. Okay, so that's if I left click down there. No, that's if I right click. So left click, System, change card, load, save, and options. Yep, left takes us back. So he mentioned we have a lot of clutter, so obviously lighter, cigarettes, cans, ashtray, gun, paperwork, photos, news clippings, photos, message. So I'm guessing that we got a lot of clicking to do, so let's start here. Let's look at you. This is a miniature of Beyond. Ed made it for me, Ed, and a couple of pictures on the wall. Okay, so over here. This is a picture from when I was in the LAPD. Me and my partner Ed were always together.
エド・ブラウン。俺の人生で最も信用できる親友であり、良きパートナーだった。
Okay, so Ed was a good partner. A replica of my badge from then is sitting on my desk. March 12th, 2010. That's another good point. The beginning of the intro was 25 years ago, so we look quite good for probably 45-year-old. Me and Lorraine were a happy husband and wife. I was in narcotics at the time. I was reckless with a pretty short fuse, and Ed was. Me and Ed had been good friends since the academy. We were a well-known team in narcotics. Ed was in bomb squad before he joined narcotics. There was a lot of terrorist activity back then. We stayed close when we were Policenauts too. I haven't seen him since my accident. Okay. So what are you? This is a photo taken to commemorate the selection of the Policenauts. 5 officers out of all the world's police organizations were chosen and trained. We were called the Original Cops, after the Mercury program's original 7. We're wearing ejection escape suits here. These are obsolete now. Back when everyone thought the orange-colored suits were cool. So, this is us. I was absolutely ecstatic, but Lorraine, she was against me going into space. Then I went to Mars. That was when we started to drift apart. That's Ed. He was chosen out of the LAPD along with me. He looks thinner here compared to the LAPD picture. Who are you? That's Salvatore Toscanini, who I've just murdered their name. He came from NYPD. Apparently he resigned from Beyond Coast Police after 10 years or so ago. Okay, middle dude. That's Jovis Sadolowski Tokugawa. And I've murdered another name. He came from the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department in Japan. He's now the head of the Tokugawa. That's Gates Becker. He came from Scotland Yard in the UK. I heard he's risen pretty high up through the ranks of Beyond the Police Coast. That thing we have attached to our chest, it's our Policenauts badge. I still wear mine around my neck. No you don't. It's there. So what are these? This was a newspaper article from when I was rescued from the EMPS survival ball 3 years ago. The headline reads, 25-year lost voyage, Policenaut Ingram's miraculous return. Oh. Oh. So, what's the deal? Did we get stored in cryostasis? 25 years of wandering, miracle recovery. Yeah, so what's been 25 years to everyone else? Probably a blink of an eye to us. I spent 25 years inside this thing waiting to be found. I've had cosmophobia ever since. I just can't go back out there anymore. This is a picture of me when I was a policenaut. I'll read some of the article. Policenaut Jonathan Ingram, presumed dead after an incident during a spacewalk in an EMPS, prototype 25 years ago, has been rescued by the unmanned exploration vessel Propaganda. His miraculous survival is being attributed to the fact that he transferred himself into an equipped life pod that at the time of the accident and remained in cold sleep for the entire time. He's gathering attention as a living example of the effects of 25 years of cold sleep on the human body. It took over a year for my muscles to return to normal after I got back. Huh. Okay, so we're a man out of time. This is a relatively small article in a corner of a newspaper. This is a newspaper article written at the time of Beyond Coast completion. It was written 28 years before the article about my rescue. So this is 3 years before it happened. This is a picture of Beyond Coast right after it was completed. The only thing they hadn't finished was the agricultural ring. That model Ed made for me is supposed to be the colony. The headline reads, "Long envisioned colony complete. New era for mankind begins." I don't know why I've decided to do this voice, but it seems kind of right. Here they point out that Beyond's location in space. It's an orbit around the L5 Lagrangian point, which I cannot pronounce. It's the red dot. Okay. I'll read some of the article. Base construction of the world's first outer space colony Beyond Coast underway for several years nearing Lagrangian. Point L5 was completed yesterday. The first wave of immigration will be centered around the scientists and the engineers who spend 14 months performing checks and gathering data. Immigration is scheduled to be open to the general public in 3 years' time. Gives them enough time to set up all the life support and ecosystem, because I figure they're probably going to be using plants to try and generate O2, so you have to get an entire habitat thing set up. So what are you? This is a newspaper article reporting on the success of the first manned mission to Mars. I took part in it while undergoing my Policenauts training. It was written 2 years after the article about Beyond's completion. Okay, now that's annoying. So you got, like, the intro, 25 years, come back, and then we read an article that's set 3 years before the 25-year thing. And then this was written 2 years after the article of Beyond's, which makes it 1 year before the incident. Ugh. Okay. Are we in the picture? This is a picture of me encountering a Mars rover on the surface. It was sent to Mars with the Mars 96 mission. The newspaper is the paper of the CIS, the Commonwealth of Independent States. Headline reads, "Man walks on Mars, global collaboration makes history." I'll read some of the article. 4 astronauts, among them Policenaut Jonathan Ingram, of the collaborative Mars project between Russia, America, and Japan touched down on the Red Planet yesterday. This new chapter in space history comes 40 years after man first set foot on the moon. Okay, so he was a police officer. We got training, we went to Mars, we came back, we started working on the Beyond, and then we get placed out of time by 25 years. Excellent. Are you the one I haven't done? No. Oh, me and Lorraine ended up separating as a result of all the time I spent in space. So it means it's you. This is a newspaper article about my incident that occurred during the EMPS spacewalk outside Beyond. It was written the year after the one about the Mars land. Now, that's just a hokey writing. Is that like giant bottle and something? This is a picture taken during the test spacewalk of the Yuri model EMPS. It was a prototype police suit for use outside the colony, the successor to NASA's MMU. This image was taken from a camera aboard the nearby space shuttle. This was me and the Yuri as we were released from the hangar. That us. This is a picture of me taken around the time of the accident. The headline reads, EMPS prototype malfunctions, police Jonathan Ingram missing. I'll read some of the article. A malfunction occurred in the Verma thrusters of the Yuri EMPS prototype during a test. Spacewalk of the device yesterday. The Yuri had been scheduled to be used by the Policenauts outside the colony. The EMPS has since vanished without a trace. The Yuri is equipped with a survival board. But because an SOS signal can't be isolated, the chances of test pilot Jonathan Ingram being found alive are thought to be slim. The official test had been scheduled for tomorrow, 25 years ago. I remember what Salvatore said. Whatever you do, don't screw this up, Johnny boy. Everyone comes back home gonna be watching. There's still a lot of people opposed to the space development back then. It all happened so fast. Before I knew it, the four of them were gone. Everything after that's like a blur. Next time I opened my eyes, I was lying on a hospital bed. Okay, so what's this? This is a piece of paper with information on a client. I've been asked to look for their 4-year-old son. You just don't see many ransom kidnappings these days. It's safer for kidnappers to quickly sell off the victim's organs to organ buyers, and they're guaranteed to see the return that way too. I've got a bad feeling about this one. Okay, so this is our gun. This is my baby, the Beretta 92F. Interesting fact, the Beretta 92 is actually what Robocop's gun was modelled on as a variant. So yeah, this is like a really common type of weapon that you'll see in game and film being referenced. I think Riggs in Lethal Weapon had a Beretta as well. I used one since I was a cop. She's a bona fide recoil gun, equipped with a laser sight. Use special 10-round magazines with armor-piercing bullets. I don't carry her, so I can't go around shooting everything in sight. She's strictly for protection. She saved me ass, I don't know how many times. Ed used to make fun of me for the way I treated my uncle. Okay, and badge. This is a replica of the badge I had in the LAPD. Really, that's all you're gonna say? What about you? This is an ashtray I stumbled across at an antique store. It wasn't easy finding one of these. You don't need an ashtray for bent cigarettes after all. Bent cigarettes are just cigarettes that don't produce any secondary smoke, which you light and simply by breaking off the end. I say light, but there's no actual fire involved. Okay, so you're talking like e-cigarettes? They work off a chemical reaction, and even the leaves are specially processed. They don't give off any smoke or ash and make a room more pleasant, but they're not my thing. The butts are starting to overflow. I guess I should empty it. Beer. It's a half-empty can of beer, probably with a cigarette halfway in it or floating. The only beer most people can afford anymore on this imitation beer. It sucks remembering how good a Coke one used to be. Your cigarettes. These are Muslims. I think the packaging more implies Marlboro, but not in the UK, because we've now got this thing where basically all your cigarettes and tobacco don't have distinguishing packaging, which makes it really fun when you go and want to buy cigarettes or get some rolling tobacco, because you have to ask for it and then they just can't look and go, oh, it looks like that, because they all look the same. It's really annoying. The only cigarettes in the world that still give off secondary smoke. I don't like the pure bent cigarettes you get today. These are mixed cigarettes, part conventional, part bent. The only brand I'd touch now is Muslims. This your lighter? This is a Bradley oil lighter, probably meant to be a Zippo. They're a manufacturer of the only lighter still in production. You don't need lighters or matches for today's bent cigarettes. Really going off on this entire artificial cigarette thing. But what are you? This is a pen I got when I was in the LAPD. I'm just going to tell you about everything that is on my desk. I will probably move on to the crumpled piece of paper next. The mayor gave it to me along with the award on the wall. Oh, that's probably the thing that I thought was a mirror. It's a pretty nice pen for the time. This is what I thought was a mirror. I was given this award by the mayor back when I was a cop. Me and Ed were the well-known team in the LAPD. You're not going to show it to me? Okay. Let's start going down memory lane. Oh, no. I was going to look at this crumpled bit of paper. It's a crumpled up piece of paper. It's a note from an old case. I'm not sure when it was. I had it stuck to the phone. Okay, so what are you? This is me and Lorraine at our wedding day. I was still a cop here in LA. Lorraine dropped out of the UCLA after we got engaged.
ロレイン、俺のワイフ。いや、それも過去のことだ。俺があの事故を起こした後、ビヨンドで再婚したらしい。今では他人のワイフだ。日本人とアメリカ人との2世。あいつにはどこか神秘的なところがあった。
Okay, so I remember discovering my rental tux didn't fit right before the ceremony. Originally had a black tuxedo. Those days, my life revolved around my job and Lorraine. Lorraine was like an angel in a wedding dress. Lorraine had her friend at the flower shop arrange her bouquet. Okay. August 24th, 2009. One day I'll never forget. What was the date again? Necklace? I still wear my wedding ring. Okay. You. This is a photo of me and Lorraine at Lucas World. December 24th, 2008. This is our first Christmas together. I've still got the watch she gave me. It's one of those radio-controlled types. It was the state-of-the-art for the time. I was a cop, fresh out of the academy. Lorraine was a student at UCLA. We met after her place got broken into by me to arrange the nails? Look at us, young and in love. She was so naive, and the things she'd do sometimes. Okay, I think that's it. Okay. Never mind.
今日は運がいい。こんな早い時間に客が来るとは。どうぞ。鍵はかかっていない。